Let's share some of those numbers because I was absolutely blown away on what was possible in such a short period of time.
Yeah. We had a campaign launched. It was like one of the very first ones. We had it dial out to 673 people at one time. So it connected with 132 folks.
132 connections on the 673
like 20% or something like that. And then we had 13 appointments set on my Google Calendar within 10 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Life Insurance Academy podcast. Today, we've got an unbelievable episode. I don't think we've ever done an episode on this topic, specifically with life insurance sales. But today, we're talking about how AI, artificial intelligence, is making big moves in the sales space and now in the life insurance space and how it could possibly help you. And we've got special guests in studio today to talk about it. And you're going to recognize this guy. He's from all the way down the road, about 5 miles from here. The savvy producer himself, Mr. Jason Richter. Welcome back to the podcast, man.
Thanks for having me, Roger. Yeah, it's took me a while to get here, but I made it.
You made it. Yeah. I think this is visit number 3.
Third visit.
Time on the podcast. And today, man, we're talking about some really cool things that you're doing with AI. So the world out there, I think, if they've seen any of our content before, and if you've watched and you've seen some content about Jason Richter, you know him as a guy who puts up some massive numbers at scale, primarily in the mortgage protection space, telesales.
Life insurance. Yeah.
Life insurance. And he's been doing some really, really cool things. One episode, you did $27,000 in a week. And I think this past year, you just broke that record. Yeah. What was that record?
I think it was like 41,000 change.
$41,000 in AP.
In 5 days.
In 5 days. Like, blow the mind. And you weren't even using the AI technology when you did that.
No.
You were just using Appointment Setter, your automations, your CRM, and working your lead program.
Yep. Just doing presentations.
Just cranking it, right?
Yep. That's the idea.
And you're a tinkerer, man.
I'm a tinkerer.
Every time I talk to you, you're always thinking about how to improve systems, how to scale, how to use technology to grow. And you're onto something. And we sat in your kitchen about maybe 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was late January.
Yeah. And came over to visit, and we hung out for a little while on a Sunday afternoon.
You brought me some white chicken chili.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. We sat at your kitchen table. And you started unloading this thing about Voxr.ai.
Yeah.
Tell me about Voxr.ai and tell me how it's going to revolutionize their business, man.
Absolutely. I think it was, we were about 3 months into development with it at that time.
Okay.
So about October-ish, I was seeing this generative AI come out. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of ChatGPT and they're using that in their daily business. So it's generative AI, voice. Generative AI.
Yeah.
So that way it's not like you're not talking to pre-recorded voices. It's coming up with solutions on the fly and it's thinking about what you're saying and responding to it.
It's interactive AI. That's like in real time.
Absolutely. So.
And you're talking about like voice technology, like speaking to an AI bot. Is this kind of what we're talking about?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's talking right back to you. So.
And you're talking to yourself now on the phone with your own voice. Is this
pretty
what's
much,
going on?
Yeah. Well, they have technology now where they can do very close cloning of your voice.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So tell me what started this and how do you see this helping agents and where's this going?
Absolutely. So it's extremely exciting what it can do. I know there's people out there have, messed around with some other similar products, and using it for the business, making phone calls, taking phone calls. What this does for businesses is that it's software that's going to make phone calls and receive phone calls, for sales and for customer service inbound. Mm-hmm. What it'll do is help, customer service, help, reduce costs for companies and agencies and agents by automating the process of communicating with their customers and making personalized conversations that can help answer questions, find out, information about a policy, do underwriting, or even assist agents, do some underwriting questions and answers. So that's more like the customer service and staffing aspect to it. But the sales part would be where someone who gives consent to be contacted by your AI, it can call out and set appointments and do live transfers.
So hold on a minute here. You're literally programming technology to act as if it was you.
Yes.
It's an interactive AI it's
You can
interactive
you can
AI
clone
bot
yourself.
cloned your voice.
Yeah.
And a client's calling in, or you're outbound calling someone who gave consent to be called this way. We'll talk about that in a second because some people think it's illegal. I even asked that question before we started.
Absolutely.
And we'll address that.
Okay.
And so the person on the other end of the phone is literally having a full-blown conversation with AI you?
AI Jason, AI Angie,
AI Roger.
AI Roger.
And I'm having a full-blown conversation, even to the point where we can go ahead and set an appointment and get it on the calendar.
You got it.
And answering questions.
Well, answering questions, like answering very specific questions. You have a knowledge library where you can put in your own FAQs, upload documents, refer to a website. It ingests that information so that way it can answer very specific questions.
So it's got learning technology, basically.
Learning, yes. Brain's growing.
Dude.
I know, it's crazy.
What is happening?
Yeah,
is this a
awesome.
real thing, dude?
It is growing. By the day.
So we sat at your kitchen table, and you called yourself, or you had yourself call you. One of them. I don't even know which one it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. Really.
And it was so real. I was like, "That's Jason, literally having a full blown conversation with himself." Yeah. And I couldn't even tell which one was the real one, except I was sitting next to one, and then after a little while, I was wondering if you were the real one or if the real one was on the other end of the call.
Yeah. We went behind the curtain, you couldn't tell.
And then I saw a little glitch in the matrix, and then I didn't know where I was.
That's right. Standing on a mountain.
That's right, standing on a mountain. So how does this work? Voxr.ai is your company. You're in the development stages. Is it fully launched yet? Where are you in the process?
We're about, we've been working with a few alpha testers, and we're looking to be sometime in March launch for campaigns.
What is an alpha tester? It sounds like a very strong tester, like an alpha male.
A's before B.
A's before B.
Beta tester.
What does that mean?
So
what is a beta tester? Let's talk about what's an alpha tester.
Yeah,
is this the person who works out the bugs?
Well, yeah, they work with you, the very, very early stages.
So very early adopters, they're working through the challenges, they're working through the opportunities with you.
Before all the functions are there.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you're still in this stage.
Still in the stage.
Yeah. And it's getting ready to go to beta testing at some point here in the near future.
Yeah, next couple of weeks.
And then after that, you can launch.
Early adopters and users. Yeah.
Early adopters and users.
Yeah.
So,
we do have quite a few people who are interested with getting involved with this because it's so scalable, not just for personal use, but for other businesses that want to be a part of this too. Like it connects with CRMs, like high level, to where it can be shared with many people. Other people can be involved. So we do have a lot of angel investors and people who are interested in working with us, and we're going to do another round of that here in the near future, if we need to, because it's going to be, we'll have plenty of people to work with in the beginning.
Tell me about like a real life application of how this can work. You were sharing some numbers from your alpha tester, and I know you were the alpha tester in some of these cases, and then you had other people also testing. But tell me about some of these numbers, and I want to preface this because if you've been watching Jason or following his story or seen any of the Savvy Producer content, this guy's a high-level producer. He's been on, carrier trip qualifiers for years. He's an industry leader when it comes to sales production. However, the numbers that you're getting ready to show me all have to do with technology. They don't have to do with you and your skill set.
That's right.
It's technology working for you.
Yes.
Let's share some of those numbers because I was absolutely blown away on what was possible in such a short period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had a campaign launched. It was like one of the very first ones. We had it dial out to 673 people at one time. Like when you hit play, it calls them all. And
all at the same time?
All at the same time.
Okay.
So you can call out to, thousands of concurrent lines at one time.
Mm-hmm. As long as you have their permission.
As long as you have your permission. You can receive 1,000 calls at one time to handle customer service.
Okay.
So it connected with 132 folks.
132 connections on the 673
dials. 20% or something like that? Around that?
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we had 13 appointments set on my Google Calendar within 10 minutes.
And
so it had,
is there conversations happening with these connections?
That's why.
And how long are these conversations
that's why I took
with
10
AI?
minutes, because there were like 5 to 7 minute conversations.
5 to 7 minute conversations with an AIU.
Yes.
And it results in set appointments on your calendar to talk about their mortgage protection, their life insurance, their burial insurance.
They knew exactly what it was for.
Whatever.
Because
they knew exactly what it was.
They opted in for it. Yeah, they knew what their,
So you're not generating the leads in this scenario.
No.
I mean, you may generate some of your own leads through your own campaigns, but this can be used for anybody that's got a lead source?
Yes. So you want to, make sure you have that consent.
And what's the qualifier?
Yeah. What's that?
What's the qualifier? Because I heard that AI calling is going to be outlawed and illegal, and we've seen this on the internet.
We were happy that happened.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So there's been FCC ruling that went into place because, people were abusing the system, blanketing people who didn't, inquire about services and products. Mm-hmm. So it just got oversaturated. Solar companies just hitting, tens and hundreds of thousands of people. And there's, been concerns, and what they did is they put that in place just to make sure that people want the services they're being reached to, just to not cloud up and saturate the lines.
Because, this can be abused at a high level. And
Absolutely.
I guess that's why they're stepping in and making some kind of regulation. Yep. There's probably still going to be abuse.
Yeah.
And obviously they'll have to crack down on that. But
absolutely.
Because I see all these ads on Instagram and Facebook, and you can see that there's celebrities on there. Their mouth is moving. You can hear their voice, but the lips are not aligned with the mouth. And then it moves away from the celebrity, and now you just got the voiceover indicating that it's actually a celebrity endorsing this product or endorsing a service or endorsing something that group is pitching, and it's a full-on scam.
Yeah. And that's a separate regulation that went in place to crack down on that. Deepfake is what they call it.
Yeah.
They had Joe Biden's voice calling to, officials' houses and people's houses about, steering them away and making other decisions besides, about their votes. So that can cause a huge problem. That's what really pushed them. I think that's what really pushed them to make a decision pretty quick.
Wow.
Because it's election year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so they have to opt in. So whatever ad campaigns people are running, they have to be verified opt-in ad campaigns where the people that are responding are actually giving consent to be contacted in this way.
Exactly.
So it's not like you're coming on saying, do you consent to be contacted by an AI bot?
Right.
I mean, it's just language in the ad content. Right?
Express written consent.
Yeah.
And it says you can, just like any other service that you get contacted by, as long as you give express written consent, and that can be verbal, to be contacted. So like if someone calls into like your ad and it's an AI assistant that's handling that phone call, it can get it written or verbal express written consent that way too. So that way you get permission, you have that on file to protect yourself.
So any of those leads then flow into your CRM, whichever one you're using, or is this a special CRM? How does this integrate?
So
is this a CRM, or is this an automation, or can it integrate with multiple CRMs?
Yeah, it harbors lists in campaigns, but what we're doing is, not trying to become a CRM company.
Yeah.
So we're connecting through what they call APIs and webhooks. So it can connect to your existing CRM. You can fire off, tens of thousands of tasks through the connection with Zapier. So that way you have follow-up task, if something's said in the phone call that triggers, like an automation like that, it can send a text message, email, and do quite a few different automations that way, during the call and post-call. So
setting 13 appointments in 10 minutes?
Yeah. That's quite a few.
That's got to be attractive for people,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Are we able to get an example of what this looks like or sounds like? I don't know. I'm saying what it looks like. It's actually all audio, right? So can we? Is there a way, Adam, that we can do this?
Yeah.
Adam's giving us thumbs up. How are we doing it? Let's
give it a
do
shot. It's beta test, but we'll give it a shot. So another thing too, a good use. There's a lot of use cases. You can use it for qualifying candidates who call in who want more information on something. Mm-hmm. It could be real estate, insurance, anything. It could train or help onboard people by answering questions. It can assist agents by answering questions from an underwriting guide, or just websites that you direct it to. The customer service is one thing, and then we have reaching out and setting appointments and transferring.
Okay.
So
let's see what it looks like. Now, you've cloned your own voice.
I've cloned my own voice, but I've also cloned Angie, my assistant.
You've cloned Angie.
Yeah.
And when you played your voice, dude, I couldn't tell the difference. And you said that's called an instant clone, and it's not even a high-level clone.
Yeah, it's not even a high-level
What's the difference between an instant clone and...
So an instant clone, you can clone your voice with about 30 seconds to 3 minutes of audio of just you talking.
Yeah.
A professional clone voice or voice clone would be where you have to provide I would say 45 minutes to 3 hours of yourself talking.
And you can do this through your software. Mm-hmm. It's all done. So you go in and set up your own voice, and then all of a sudden it's you talking to you.
Yeah.
AI you.
Yeah. So it picks up on all the, the different ways you would say a word, because it would ask in the script it gives you to record your voice. You read the same story, but a couple different ways. Mm. So
it's picking up all of your nuance.
Literally your
inflections
and all that. Your pace,
your accent.
Yeah, your pace.
Yeah. Cadence, how you speak, your tone, all of that.
All that stuff. Up. Yep.
Let me hear it, man. I want to hear something. Let's hear it. Right. Let's let them hear it.
So
I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it great, but we're going to try to figure it out so you can actually hear this.
We'll have it call my cell phone.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do a quick test and see what this looks like.
All right. So let's take a look here. So this is a quick script I put together for mortgage protection.
Okay.
Let's see here. So you want to go to test. Mm-hmm. And we'll test this out. Yep. We got, this site has a few typos on there. So, let's say John. We'll just put a phone number in here. All right.
Turn that ringer on?
No, that's okay. I got to put on speaker. Yeah, who's this? Hello? I think it's my Bluetooth.
Yeah. Got disconnected. Anyway, this is Angie from the MP. Yeah. So it looks like you opted into one of our forms for information on how to protect your family from your mortgage in case of illness or passing away. Is that something that you recall?
I don't remember it.
Okay, no worries. Well, the reason I'm reaching out is to see if there's any way we can assist you with mortgage protection information. Would you be interested in learning more about it?
Yeah, well, how much does it cost?
Okay, perfect. What's the cost of mortgage protection?
Yeah, how much does it cost?
What's the cost of mortgage protection?
Yeah.
The cost of mortgage protection depends on various factors like your age, current health, the amount of coverage, and other parameters. It's personalized based on individual circumstance. Okay. Would you like to explore the options available?
Yeah.
With that said, so I can get this information out to you, what city are you in so I can check your time zone?
Sure, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. It looks like we have a 9 a.m. and an 11 a.m. times available in Louisville. Okay. Which time works best for you?
Do you have anything later than that?
Unfortunately, the latest times available for tomorrow are 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. in Louisville. Would any of those times work for you?
Yeah, we can shoot for 11.
Good deal. I'll lock in that time for you. Also, you should see my call at that time coming from a 502 area.
Okay. All right, I got to go. I'm pretty busy.
Okay, so just to confirm and double check, there's no reason you would not show up, right? Like you 100% can make the call?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be there.
Well, I look forward to our call at 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow. So that being said, everything is good to go over here.
Okay.
I hope you have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Great rest of your day.
All right. Bye-bye.
You kept getting notifications and other calls while you were on the test call.
I got 3 phone calls
while you were listening to the AI call.
I was trying to talk to it and kept interrupting it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. So you
asked like if you had anything later and she said no, I don't have anything later. These are the ones. Will one of those work?
Yeah, because you could put parameters in there like only, look for the next 24 hours. So if your calendar doesn't have anything there, then you can prompt it to transfer too if the person can't agree on a time.
So you can transfer it directly to the agent?
To the agent, yeah.
To yourself?
Yeah, myself, yeah.
Wow.
So we have it too where you can let the system know you're available, and then it'll transfer to you so you can take calls. If you're not available, it'll just go back to setting appointments on your calendar.
So in the case where it'll transfer to you, does the AI person even get involved, the AI technology get involved? Or does it say, hi, I'm going to transfer you now?
It does a warm handoff.
A warm handoff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me
What does that mean?
So it's
sounds like a warm cookie and a glass of milk.
It's a
Here, I'm going to introduce you to my friend and have a cookie and a glass of milk as you meet him.
It'll make you feel warm and fuzzy.
That's right.
So it's a conference call kind of thing. So you're on the phone, the AI is on the phone with the customer. It brings you in, does an introduction, and then drops off, and you're still talking to the customer.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
like we're on the front end of this stuff. It's getting
very
ready to
front
blow
end,
up.
Yeah,
and
the roadmap is crazy. So we're going to be able to monitor calls, whisper, barge, make recommendations. So there's more human interaction with those phone calls.
Now you said barge and whisper. Some people don't know what that means, right? If you've not used some, calling technology before, what does that mean?
So that just means like whisper would be where a user or a manager can monitor the calls going on. Whisper is where you can give recommendations and communicate behind the scenes with the AI assistant.
You're literally giving prompts to the AI, like tell them
on fly.
Let's look for Friday.
Yeah, on the fly.
And then they'll go and look for Friday.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
and if it was a real agent.
Yeah,
and but the prospect can't hear you.
Right. But you're whispering.
Whispering. Yeah, and what is barging? You taking over the call?
Yeah, you're just taking over. And they won't be able to tell the difference because your voice is cloned.
That's nuts. Because your voice is cloned when you take over the call. They don't know they're talking to somebody new.
Right.
It's the same you.
Yeah.
It's AI you, but better.
It's AI me.
That's crazy, man. All right. So I hope that was a teaser for you guys of what's coming. How do they get in touch with you? How do they find out more information? What's the process? Because there's going to be a lot of people that say, hey, man, I need to learn more about this.
Absolutely.
I want this for my call center. I'm a telesales rep from home. I need this technology.
Yeah,
I want to scale. All these people.
Yeah. This is the first time we reached out, to the public about this. It just, the word of mouth has been keeping us so busy. We just, so we had to put together like a wait list. So if you visit Voxr.ai, no E, so Voxr.ai, and then just put your name on the wait list, you should be able to schedule like a demo too.
Schedule a demo?
Yeah.
And then from there, I hear you going down to the University of Louisville to do some things. What's that about?
Yeah. So we're, I got accepted into the Launch It program.
The what?
Launch It.
Launch It program?
Yeah. So there's different incubators and accelerators for startups. So I got accepted in there, and we're doing a 8-week class where it teaches you how to launch a software company or launch a company, and in my case, a software company. So doing interviews, asking questions, building your product to your customers' needs.
and adjusting
learning
it before you launch.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of building a product that is what you think the customer needs, and then when you launch it, it actually has no use for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. This is like building it to suit, your customers, your audience.
Yeah.
So, asking the right questions and doing things the right way to get a successful launch. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, man, Jason, I appreciate you coming in today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
And sharing Angie and inviting Angie to the meeting, to the podcast. Now Angie's on the podcast.
Yeah, she's on it.
Yeah. And it's cool, though, that you're cloning Angie's voice, and Angie's still working full-time with you.
She's the mother of bots.
She's the mother of bots. And so now she is cloning herself.
Yeah.
To scale, help more people, help you, and teach people how to use this technology for themselves.
I get asked all the time, like, how do I get someone that can help me make phone calls like Angie does you? I was like, well, let me figure this out. So I came out with this software.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see where it goes, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. It's been exciting so far. I mean, things are changing. There's just a lot of development and improvements happening daily. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting to see where we're going to be in a year from now.
Nuts.
So
scary, exciting, and just wow. That's all I can say, man. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Roger.
It's so good to have you. The Savvy Producer is still producing. And if you got questions, reach out. You can go to Voxr.ai. And get on that wait list and find out more about this technology that can help you make more sales and grow your business. Hope this episode was impactful for you as it was for me. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast.